History remembers kings, wars, and revolutions. But sometimes the most powerful figure in a kingdom was someone who never even existed. In the winter of 1554, inside a silent royal palace lit only by candlelight, a kingdom held its breath because their queen was pregnant. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. She was powerful, feared, determined to secure her legacy. Without an heir, everything she ruled could vanish the moment she died. Rivals would rise, enemies would close in, and the fragile balance of power would collapse overnight. So when word spread that she was expecting a child, it changed everything. Church bells rang. Courtiers whispered in relief. Foreign powers paused watching, because this wasn't just any child. This child would decide the future of an entire nation. But from the very beginning, something felt wrong. The queen withdrew from public view. Her body changed, or at least it seemed to. Her physicians confirmed it. Her advisors swore it was real. And yet, no one outside her inner circle ever truly saw the proof. Still, the kingdom believed. Months passed. The court prepared for a royal birth. Tailors stitched tiny garments. A cradle was carved from polished oak. Priests wrote prayers for the child protection. Astrologers mapped the stars, predicting a destiny of greatness. And the queen spoke of the child as if it were already alive. She gave a future, a name, a purpose. But then the expected month came and went. No cries echoed to the palace halls. No announcement came from the royal chambers. Just silence. At first, the court made excuses. Perhaps the calculations were wrong. Perhaps the child needed more time. After all, this wasn't just a pregnancy. It was hope itself. Weeks turned into months. The queen remained in seclusion, still claiming the child was coming, still insisting everything was normal. But outside those guarded walls, doubt began to spread. Whispers crept through corridors. Servants spoke in hushed tones. Some said the queen had never been pregnant at all. Others believed something far darker, that the child had died before birth, and the truth was being hidden. But no one dared to say it out loud, because questioning the existence of the child meant questioning the queen herself, and that was dangerous. Inside the palace, tension twisted into obsession. Doctors were summoned again and again. Midwives waited endlessly in empty rooms. Advisors clung to belief because the alternative was unthinkable. If there was no child, then everything they had built their hopes on was a lie. And then, slowly, the truth began to surface. The queen's body showed no signs of labor, no signs of a child at all. What once seemed undeniable now looked impossible. Some historians would later call a phantom pregnancy, a condition where the body mimics every symptom of pregnancy, even when no child exists. But in that moment, there was no clear explanation, only fear and denial, because the queen still believed. She continued to speak of the child, continued to prepare for its arrival, as if sheer will could bring it into existence. But reality doesn't bend to belief. Eventually, the illusion shattered, quietly, without ceremony. The court stopped speaking of the child. The cradle remained unused. The tiny garments were locked away. And the queen never gave birth. No heir, no future. Just a silence that echoed louder than any announcement ever could. But the damage had already been done. Political alliances had shifted in anticipation of the child. Enemies had hesitated, giving the queen time she might not have otherwise had. Decisions were made. Promises were broken. Strategies were built, all around someone who was never there. And when the truth became impossible to ignore, the consequences were swift. Confidence in the crown weakened. Rivals grew bold again. The illusion that once protected the throne now exposed its fragility. Even worse, the queen herself became a symbol, not of power, but of something far more unsettling. Obsession, desperation, the terrifying strength of belief. Because for months, an entire kingdom had acted as if the child was real. They planned for it, feared it, relied on it, all without ever questioning the possibility that it didn't exist. Some records of the time were quietly altered, others disappeared entirely. Witnesses contradicted each other. Even today, historians debate what truly happened inside those palace walls. Was it medical mystery, a deliberate deception, or something more psychological, a mind pushed so far by pressure and fear that it created its own reality? No one knows for certain, but fragments remain. Mentions of a child in royal documents with no birth record, references to preparations that were never fulfilled, and somewhere, according to rumor, an empty cradle that was never removed, a silent reminder of a future that never came, because in the end, the most powerful child in that kingdom shaped history without ever taking a single breath, a presence that ruled decisions, altered alliances, and haunted a queen, despite never being born.